What Howie Roseman and the Eagles did last night during the draft is nothing short of epic. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat. Here it is, Howie Vision, and we're all just living in it. Especially the rest of the NFC East teams who are watching the Eagles just tear it up each and every year. My gosh, what an epic first round for the Philadelphia Eagles. I can't believe the board fell the way it is, and Howie Roseman comes away with, I think, the best night out of any football team, even over Houston, because they didn't give up what Houston had to give up to get back to get Will Anderson Jr. The Eagles get maybe arguably the best player in the draft, and then they get a steal at 30, a guy, Nolan Smith, who we thought he was going to be there possibly at 10 for the Eagles. Unbelievable. Howie Roseman does it again. But before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you for all the support you give me. It truly means a lot. And a quick reminder, we will be live tonight for the draft, second, third round. We will be there. We will also be streaming tomorrow as well. So come hang out with us. Should be a lot of fun. And thank you to everybody who joined us last night. It was crazy epic last night. We had so many people, could not keep up with the chat. It was simply amazing. Now, this draft is for one of the all-timers, man. This is going to go down in the record books. Another great draft. Just like last year, I truly believe it's the Matt Corral jerseys. It's got to be the luck of the Matt Corral jerseys. I can't believe how this board fell. First off, I did not think Jalen Carter was ever going to make it to the 9, 10. I never thought he would make it that far. I was so sure Seattle was getting him. I really thought Seattle would have got him. But they didn't. They passed up on him. And then I thought, okay, well, he's probably going to go 6. And he goes 6. I'm thinking, all right, maybe we got a shot. And, you know, me and Joey, we're sweating it. We're sweating the first round because we're thinking, all right, Carter and Bijan, if they could just keep falling and then, you know, to the point where we'll end up with at least one of them, we're good. We're good. And then Atlanta, they take Bijan Robinson, and you're going, oh my gosh, no, this is bad. And the reason it was bad because you're thinking, well, Jalen Carter's going to go to Chicago. Chicago's going to take him because everybody said he'll never get by Chicago. He'll never get by Chicago. But Howie Roseman, he trades up 4th round in 2024. Who cares about that? And he gets to 9, takes Jalen Carter, the best player in the draft. And listen, if we were in a situation, and I said this many times, if we were in a situation where Carter and Bijan Robinson were both on the board at 10, you got to take Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter's arguably the best player in the draft. He was 2nd overall in my rankings. I had Will Anderson 1, then I had Jalen Carter, then I had Bijan Robinson. So the Eagles don't get Bijan Robinson, but they get the better player. They get the better player because of the off the field stuff. If he fell, apparently it came out today that he was off a couple teams' draft boards, including Atlanta. So it just fell perfectly. Luckily, Chicago, I think, was more interested in getting an offensive lineman, which makes sense for them. And the Eagles were able to get Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is arguably the best player in this draft. He has all the talent in the world. Now, I know there's some concerns about his maturity and about him coming out of shape on the pro day. I have to trust that the Eagles did their homework on it. I have to trust that they know what they're doing, that they talk to him. And I think having Jordan Davis there, having Nakobe Dean there, and then having the vets that you have in the locker room, I think they feel like they could handle him. But for a Super Bowl team, a team that just was one drive away from winning the Super Bowl, to go out there and get Jalen Carter is truly amazing. It's truly amazing. I owe Howie Roseman a huge apology, and it will be coming out next week. I got to make sure I have a suit and tie on, and we're going to give one hell of an apology to Howie Roseman because that's 3 straight years where he's killed it in the draft. And I just thought Once he got Jalen Carter, it was like, we already won the night. We already won the night. It's a steal. It's an absolute steal. But it got better. It got better. The draft, the way it fell. Now, the one weird thing that I didn't like, and it almost bothered me as much as losing Bijan Robinson, like, Jamar Gibbs going to Detroit, like pissed me off. It pissed me off because it's like, oh man, all this talk, running backs don't go in the first round. You got 2 going in the top 15. And I was hoping he was going to fall to us later. I still think we need a running back. We'll talk about that at the end, but it doesn't matter. The draft went on, and then all of a sudden, the Eagles get to 30, and there's Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith is still on the board. I couldn't believe it. We all couldn't believe it. And of course, the Eagles jump on that. They take Nolan Smith, and they come away with, in my opinion, 2 humongous steals. Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith may be the bigger surprise for people because some people did think Jalen Carter was going to drop. I wasn't one of them. But Nolan Smith, to get him at 30, somebody, what does he run, a 4.39? Unbelievable. Now he gets to come in. He gets to learn with Hassan Reddick, Brandon Graham. He gets to learn with all those guys. Unbelievable, truly amazing. And it was one hell of a first round. Unbelievable. The Eagles smoked the rest of the NFC East. They smoked them. If you look at Washington, you look at the Giants, you look at Dallas, in my opinion, none of those teams did anything to scare me. They did nothing to scare me. I thought the Giants had a good pick, but it doesn't scare me for next year. I still think they got to get their quarterback weapons. You got to get Daniel Jones weapons. So we'll see. But the Eagles absolutely killed it. A++++. You don't have enough pluses. You don't have enough pluses. I need a drink. I'm going to drink. This is the Howie Roseman. Salute. Pinky up. Pinky up when you drink. Always. Now, the Eagles are going to go into the second round today, and we're going to see what they're going to do. I really thought that the Eagles would go offense early, but just the way the board fell, you saw where one receiver went on. When JSN goes off, there was like a string of 4 or 5 receivers in a row that all came off the board. And then Jamar Gibbs was off the board. So by the time the Eagles picked the 30, the best available players were on the defensive side of the ball. So there really wasn't a chance for the Eagles to go offense. But I think in today, I think we're going to see them go offense. I still think you need another offensive lineman. Maybe you snag one early. And I think you need a running back. Now, the question with the running back is going to be this. Is it better to draft a running back at this point, or do you go out and you make a trade for a guy? That's the question. I think both got to be in play. Obviously, is Tennessee really going to shop Derrick Henry? I think it would be nice if we could snag him. I also think we have to keep an eye on DeAndre Swift because DeAndre Swift obviously is probably available for a trade. He's a Philly kid, and I really like him. Now, the problem with DeAndre Swift is kind of what I have with Penny. Maybe not on the same level, but I got to worry about his injuries. Are we going to have 2 guys, if you bring in Swift, we have to worry about being injured all the time? That would be the problem. Derrick Henry would be absolutely fantastic. But I think the Eagles need to add a running back still. I really believe they still need another running back. I know some people don't think they think they're fine. I'm not one of those people. I think they need one. And now with Jamar Gibbs and Bijan off the board, I would like to see the Eagles maybe go out and try to trade and get a veteran back in there. Somebody who could be effective. There's still guys like Zeke Elliott that are out there on the free agent market. I don't want him. I really don't want him. I'd rather make a trade for somebody who I still think has some gas in the tank. You know what I'm saying? Right, Cat? You're going to start meowing when I'm doing this? You see what I'm doing and my hand's moving all over here? What are you doing, Cat? So it's going to be an interesting day. The Eagles, God, they just absolutely killed this draft. I am so excited about Jalen Carter. Another thing I got to say is some people compare Jalen Carter to Jerome Brown. Okay, Seth Joyner, he made comparisons to Jerome Brown. Dan Sileo, he's made comparisons to Jerome Brown. He played right next to Jerome Brown for 3 years. I think he would have some idea. He said he hasn't ever said that in 25 years. And he's saying it. If Jalen Carter is anything like Jerome Brown, we're going to get the best defensive tackle we've ever seen. Because Jerome Brown, by far, was the best defensive tackle that I've ever seen play for the Eagles. We've had some good guys come after, but nobody, in my opinion, that was as dominating, as talented as Jerome Brown. And it would have been amazing to see how his career projected, because I think he would have gone down as the best defensive tackle who ever played his game. I think he would have gone down and been in the Hall of Fame. So that's high praise. Now the question with Jalen Carter is, can you get him in shape? Can you get him ready? And when you think about the Eagles for years to come, having Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, wow. Absolutely wow. The Eagles, they're going to be not dominating. And I think that this team has the best roster in the National Football League. And I think we're headed right back to the Super Bowl. But we've got to get through the draft. We got day 2 today coming, and we're going to see what happens. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. And remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. So I've had some people ask me, hey, Philly, you had the draft 5 hat. What are you going to do now? The Eagles, they drafted Jalen Carter. What are you going to do now? Well, don't fear, because we got the Jalen Carter hat. Draft 88 is up, baby. And if you want it, make sure you click the link in the description. I love this hat. You see it says Draft 88, and then it has the eagle wing with the check mark, meaning done, connected. And we should get one for 4 up there too. But yeah, we weren't gonna disappoint you with not having an Eagles player who actually got drafted. Come on now. Draft 88 is available. I have no idea what number Jalen Carter will be when he becomes the Eagles, but he was 88 in college. So with that said, you guys take care. Denzel Washington out.